Voices, community stories, past and present, in association with 91.3 KXCI, presents Radioactivism.
I'm Zack Khalil. I believe that there is no truth, there is no certainty, there is no fact, and therefore no fiction. There is no black or white, nor any shades of gray in between, because there is no finality, no certainty to be found in existence. It took me a lot of my short life to figure this out. I remember one night when I was in the 8th grade, I was walking home from work when I stopped on a deserted street in the cold night air and looked up at the sky. The moon, hidden by clouds, had begun to appear, and I observed the billions of stars, each one of them an actual place, each one more enormous than anything I could imagine, each one holding such mystery and such promise, such hopes of something out there other than what surrounded me. At that time in my life, I was having troubles with a lot of things. Everything seemed so wrong. Every day I was awakening to a life I didn't want to lead, in a town I didn't want to be in, with people that I was, for the most part, revolted by. I was constantly searching for answers. Everything seemed so hollow. I needed something to believe in, but at the time I had begun to question whatever vague notions of God I still clung to, and my fingers were constantly slipping. Eventually I let go and fell into the quagmire of my own head, into this dark, cavernous space where I would search for meaning, but I was finding none, for answers only to retrieve more questions. I continued this emotionally destructive process for a long time. I was in a tortured state of limbo, but I felt like I didn't have any other choice. I was looking for answers because if I didn't, I felt a constant need for them. During this process, I was becoming increasingly aware of the futile nature of my search. I began to realize that I would most likely never have the answers that I wanted, that I might as well give up and accept the possibility that the truth does not exist. When I say the truth does not exist, I mean it in all contexts, not just in a purely theological or philosophical sense. I mean it in every single way it can be interpreted. Nothing is certain. As I soon discovered, even reality is not certain. The more I thought about my own personal reality, the reality of being a 16-year-old boy living in Tucson, the more I was able to realize that it was in no way the definitive reality, the only reality that was possible for me. After all, the way I perceive the world and the way an 80-year-old man from India perceives the world are going to be totally different because of the different ways we grew up. Essentially, reality is perception dragged through our own personal mind frame, which was built by our parents through the distorted lens of their mind frame, which was built by their parents' uniquely distorted mind frame, and all of this building is infinitely being shaped by society's own constant pull on our realities. Therefore, everything we see, everything we believe is so skewed, so twisted by our own frames of mind, that nothing is certain, nothing is absolute, nothing is fact. Once I was able to realize that our perception of reality is not definitive in any sense of the word, I understood that we are not powerless. We all create our own reality. We are in control of how we perceive the world around us by what we choose to perceive consciously or more often subconsciously, and by how we let what we choose to perceive affect us. When I was able to step back from my own personal reality and see life this way, as a jumbled mess of thoughts and feelings, of wants and needs, of objects and words which I can perceive in any way I want, I was finally able to make the most of it and enjoy it. Life, existence, is what there is. I have no way of knowing if that is all there is, but I've learned to just enjoy the chaos while I'm here.
You've been listening to Radioactivism, stories written and produced by youth ages 14 to 21 through Voices, community stories, past and present, in conjunction with 91.3 KXCI. Find out more about this and other Voices programs at voicesinc.org or at our downtown office at 48 East Pennington.